Holy Week here on the liturgical Christianity calendar. And on top of that, it is a special Holy Week because it's Saturday! You know what that means? We're live! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to welcome each and every single one of you back here to the channel on YouTube.com. As of course, you already know who I am, a Mr. Controversy and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known Smell that. Do you smell that? That right there is greatness. Wait for it. Wait for it. To mankind. And this is the official Lightning Flash update for Saturday, April 16th, 2022. I almost said 2021, but it's 2022. My bracelet even fell off. Can't even handle the greatness. I fucking love it. Anyway. Let's calm down a bit. This is indeed the Lightning Flash update for your Holy Saturday here on April 16th, 2022. I would like to thank each and every single one of you for stopping by and tuning into the channel. Got a fresh haircut, as Hooligan pointed it out. I got fresh new t-shirts. Limitless Keith Lee. New t-shirts for my birthday. I decided to break them out now. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is having a phenomenal Holy Week. Tomorrow is Easter Sunday, and I'm going to be relaxing on Easter Sunday. Yes, I know what tonight is. Tonight is, of course, Battle of the Belts Part Number 2. Unfortunately, I will not be doing a rewind on it as I want to spend some time with my family, want to relax, eat some good food tomorrow, and I just want to take a little break. I realized I took a break for my birthday weekend. That was my birthday. Now it's Easter. But I will be back in the swing of things. I'll be doing multiple streams on special weekends after Easter's over. Obviously, we got Double or Nothing coming up. WrestleMania Backlash is coming up. Obviously, we got a lot of material like SummerSlam and Money in the Bank, which have been confirmed for Saturdays. We got the United Kingdom event going down. So we got a lot of shit. We got a lot of shit to talk about. A lot of shit to go over. There's a lot of material coming our way as far as professional wrestling goes in the year 2022. But I will be live tweeting for Battle of the Belts. I will be watching it. You can see my in-time real thoughts when the show is live tonight at 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time, that is. I'll be talking about it. I'll be tweeting about it. Supposedly, the show was a very good show. It was better than the first Battle of the Belts. I heard that from one of my peeps on Twitter, and it's going to be a good one. AEW's had a great week in professional wrestling. WWE, not so much, but there is a lot of material to discuss. There's a lot of material to talk about, including where Chauncey Blackheart has been and where I think she's going to end up. We also got a rumor going around on who Shotzi's going to be feuding with when she returns to television, if she returns to television. Then obviously we got some news on Satnam Signh, an Indian NBA player who debuted on Dynamite this past Wednesday. We got news on Jonathan Gresham signing with AEW, Ray Fenix returning to action, and a big one right here. Cody Rhodes, as you can see by the thumbnail and the title of the stream, Cody Rhodes now is allowed to break the fourth wall. Cody Rhodes is allowed to use backstage terms that are banned on television. He's allowed to use words that Vince McMahon has outlawed on WWE television, and that right there supposedly is going to be a part of his character and his on-screen persona going forward, and we're going to go over why that is a phenomenal move, and I'm very happy that WWE gave Cody the green light to do so. 99% of what WWE puts out is shit, and WWE, most of the time, they always do wrong. Nothing that they do is right. But this time, they got it right with Cody Rhodes. So far, we're going to see how he feels 6, 7, 8 months down the road from now, but so far, they've been doing Cody Rhodes very, very well. They've been doing him justice thus far. We're going to talk about that. Please make sure, if you haven't already done so, please make sure that you follow me on social media. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at real_DJ_storms. That is real_DJ_storms on both Twitter and Instagram. Please make sure you add me on Facebook as well for collaborations and business inquiries. Please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Like the official DJ Storms business page, and I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. That is, all of those links are in the description. If you missed the rundown for AEW Battle of the Belts Part Number 2, I had little Stevie on the show. We went about an hour on Thursday evening. Him and me, we went in depth on all of the matches going down tonight on Battle of the Belts Part Number 2, and we went in depth on a few other things as far as the champions and where they're going to go going forward, and a few other individuals and storylines and angles going on AEW television right now. So please make sure you go and check that out if you missed it. The link is, of course, in the description. Please make sure, if you haven't already done so, please make sure, if you have not already done so, please make sure that you hit that like button when you come on in. That is very, very important. That is vital. When you come on in, you hit the like button. And, of course, you share out the stream on all platforms of social media. I'm talking about Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever social media platforms that you may have, or you could tell people straight up. Make sure you notify people that DJ Storms is live on YouTube with the LFU. We're talking a lot of professional wrestling. We're talking a lot of professional wrestling. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a nice time here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon here in New Jersey. It's nice and warm. It's a nice 65 degrees out there with a good breeze, not too hot, not too cold. Some good stuff. Some good stuff, I will say. And then, of course, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button when you come on in. You hit the subscribe button and you hit that notifications bell. Hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, baby, it is the best time to be on YouTube, because it's the only time that you're going to get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combination and this beautiful, beautiful mustache right here. Give me one little second. Give me one solitary second. Right, here we go. Earl Cole's favorite part of the entire stream, because we're going to light it up with a little and a dash of and a whole lot of because like Campbell's soup, I'm so good. Everybody wants a piece of the Stormsmeister. You already know that. I know that's what Hooligram's here for. Dylan Catcham just joined. How you doing? Earl Cole, he's in the chat as well. Adam, Karl, and DD. Thank you all for joining. Like I said, hit the like button when you come on in and share the stream out on all platforms of social media. Share it out. We want to get people on in here. It is important. It's vital. We're going to dive right into the news, rumors, and reports. Let's not waste any more time. Let's start off with Chauncey Blackheart. Chauncey Blackheart has not been seen on television in quite some time. Steve Carrier of Ringside News provided an update on what's going on with Chauncey Blackheart. He tweeted out on April 10th, a week ago, and I quote, "We've been getting emails every week about Chauncey Blackheart. Okay, this is all we know. She wasn't booked in the Mania build because she wasn't in the mix. Chauncey is in good standing and everyone likes her." He put those all in quotes. There is no heat on Shotzi either. Hopefully that helps. Now, to add to all of this, rumors have actually been circulating and floating around on social media that Shotzi Blackheart will be Lacey Evans' first feud when Lacey Evans makes her in-ring return, which right now is going to be taking place, by the looks of it, on the SmackDown brand. Everybody likes her. She just wasn't in the mix. She's in a good standing. You know, a lot of people thought they were in good standing. A lot of people did what they were supposed to do. They were good little soldiers. They obeyed Bruce Pritchard. They obeyed Vince McMahon. And what happened to all of them? They ended up getting released. They ended up getting fired. And now they're either in AEW or they're flourishing in another promotion, whether it be New Japan, Impact, MLW, Ring of Honor, or somewhere on the Indies. Just look at Matt Cardona. So at the end of all of this, Shotzi Blackheart is not being used on television because she is on the verge of getting released. There's really no other way to look at it. There's really no other way to decipher this. There's no other way to attack this. Shotzi Blackheart, if they really valued Shotzi Blackheart, they would use her. Look at the women's division on SmackDown. Are you honest to God fucking telling me that they're bringing over Raw superstars over to SmackDown and they can't give Shotzi Blackheart one iota of an opportunity? They can't give her just one tiny little opportunity for some TV time, put her in a little mini feud, so much so that they've taken her off of television for X amount of months without any sign of using her in the future? What exactly is the motive here? Seriously. She's in good standing? Really? Good standing. Yeah. She's in a real good standing. She's in a good standing for Nick Khan to slice up her contract and send her packing to the unemployment line before she finds work somewhere else. Now rumors have been floating around that she's going to be the first feud for Lacey Evans when Lacey Evans returns to TV. And you know what? Lacey Evans sure as hell ain't going to lose her first feud back from pregnancy. She's been out for 14 months having her second child. So at the end of all this, I mean, you take a look at it, and whether or not we see the feud with Lacey Evans, you know for a fucking fact that Shotzi Blackheart is more prone to getting released than she is to being used on television in a prominent role. They know who they want and they know who they don't want. Unless your name is Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, or Roman Reigns, everyone on that roster is at risk of being cut. Anyone could be cut at any single time, not named those 5 individuals that I just named. And it's a sad fucking thing because Shotzi Blackheart is great. Shotzi Blackheart is a very, very good professional wrestler. She's a great babyface. The crowd took to her in NXT. She was very, very popular in NXT. They really gave her the opportunity to break out, and she did just that. And now she's on the main roster. She was called up with Tegan Nox. They split them up. They actually beat Tamina and Natalya when they were the women's tag team champions at that time. They didn't even get their fucking tag team title match. And they were broken up, and Tegan Nox was fired. Now Shotzi Blackheart is a heel. She turned heel, and she had a feud with Sasha Banks. She lost her feud with Sasha Banks, and she's been off of television ever since. It's pathetic. It's quite pathetic. I do not see Shotzi Blackheart ending anywhere up up but the unemployment line. She's not going to end up anywhere but the unemployment line. And it sucks for her. I'll tell you what doesn't suck. Jonathan Gresham. Jonathan Gresham is phenomenal. Jonathan Gresham is a professional wrestler that is widely touted in the same light as a Bryan Danielson, as an AJ Styles. Jonathan Gresham is perhaps one of the most underappreciated talents in the entire world right now. He's been killing it on the indies. He's killed it in Ring of Honor. And now that he is a part of the Ring of Honor brand, a lot of people have been wondering when he's signing with Ring of Honor / AEW. And it was actually confirmed by Fightful Select that Jonathan Gresham has indeed signed with AEW. And for the time being, considering he is the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion, he will be working the Ring of Honor brand as we speak right now. This is a great move. I'm very, very happy that he's working the Ring of Honor brand, and I'm even more happy that even though that he's working the Ring of Honor brand, he is still getting a showcase on AEW TV. He's competing tonight against Dalton Castle. If this is the case, and we're going to see Ring of Honor talent appear on AEW television and vice versa, this is going to be great. This is going to be great for both brands. This way, people know who Jonathan Gresham is. They know he's the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. And if the announcement next week by Tony Khan is indeed Ring of Honor getting a television deal, this is huge because now people will go out of their way to watch AEW Ring of Honor television because they know who Jonathan Gresham is because he got a showcase on AEW television at Battle of the Belts. This is a great thing. And once Jonathan Gresham inevitably drops the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship, I predict that it's going to be Brian Cage. I predict that it's actually going to be Brian Cage. Once Jonathan Gresham drops the title, then we're going to see Jonathan Gresham move up to AEW television. This is a great thing. Very, very happy to hear that Jonathan Gresham has signed with AEW, and he is going to be a phenomenal hand. I cannot wait to see Gresham versus the likes of Danielson, Omega, Rey Fenix, Pentagon, Pac, and Hangman, and Cole. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be great. I hope they sign Bandito, too. Speaking of Rey Fenix, Dave Meltzer, he gave us a good update on Rey Fenix. He discussed on Wrestling Observer Radio that Rey Fenix is expected to be back on AEW television within a few weeks. Another excellent news report. Another excellent news report because Rey Fenix is amazing. Rey Fenix is probably the best luchador in all of professional wrestling as we speak. Rey Fenix is godly. I don't even think Rey Fenix is human. Rey Fenix is like a luchador version of the Terminator. There's nothing he can't do. Now, I know a lot of people have been wondering what Rey Fenix is going to do when he comes back. Are we going to go right back to the Lucha Bros? Will we see a rematch between the Lucha Bros and Jurassic Express? That could very well happen. And to be quite honest with you, if that does happen, I would not complain. I would actually love to see Rey Fenix and Penta versus Jurassic Express at Double or Nothing. I think that would be great. I got no issue with that. But, however, I would actually love to see Rey Fenix in the singles division. Same thing with Penta. I would actually love to see Rey Fenix and Penta in the TNT Championship title hunt. And especially after what happened tonight at Battle of the Belts, according to the spoilers. I only read that one spoiler. I haven't read the other spoilers. But according to what happened at Battle of the Belts, I mean, if we're going to get what we're going to get, if Rey Fenix and Penta are going to be in the TNT title hunt going up against the TNT champion, I mean, we could be looking at a potential match of the year candidate. I don't know about you, but I would love to see a Rey Fenix or a Penta El Cero Miedo, a Penta Oscuro versus the TNT champion. That would be great. Maybe we get Lucha Bros versus Red Dragon. Maybe we see the Lucha Bros go after FTR, try to get their AAA World Tag Team titles back. There's a lot of great material that can be had with the Lucha Bros as a tag team and as singles guys. I would personally love to see him as singles guys. I would love to see him as singles guys because I would actually like to see what they could do against the TNT champion, no matter who the TNT champion may be. So Rey Fenix is coming back. Very, very happy to hear that. I'll tell you what was not a good feeling. Satnam Singh's AEW Dynamite debut. Now, Satnam Signh, he is a former NBA basketball player from India. They signed Satnam Signh to an AEW contract all the way back in September. I'm actually going to be honest with you. I forgot that they did. I forgot that this guy even signed back in September. I was completely unaware. But Satnam Signh, NBA Indian basketball player, he signed with AEW. He debuted on Dynamite this past Wednesday. He attacked Samoa Joe and aligned himself with Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt. Many fans wildly criticized the debut. The fans in the arena, the Louisiana fans, actually chanted, "Who are you?" The lights went out. We expected someone big, and it was the giant Satnam Signh, which no one knew, nor did anyone give a fuck about. It received a lot of backlash on social media to what was otherwise a great show. Probably the best show of the entire week was AEW Dynamite, like it usually is. Tony Khan, he actually went on Twitter and talked about how everything came about as far as the debut of Satnam Signh goes. He talked about how someone of 30 years of experience, could have been an Arn Anderson, could have been a Dustin Rhodes, could have been someone along those lines, someone of 30 years of experience pitched. He didn't name who, but they pitched the idea to have the lights go out and Satnam Signh just appear in the ring. Tony Khan approved it, but it wasn't his idea. He actually admitted that the debut could have came off a hell of a lot better. One fan actually talked about, why didn't he just walk out and attack Samoa Joe alongside with Sanjay Dutt and Jay Lethal instead of having the lights go out? Tony Khan actually said that would have been better, and it really does go to show you how smart the fans really are. So, positive things first. I'm going to say this right now. I appreciate the fact that Tony Khan was upfront and honest. I appreciate the fact that he was upfront and honest, and I really, 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 really appreciate the fact that he went on record to say that the fans are very, very smart and the debut could have gone better. It wasn't my idea, but I approved it, and that was my mistake. And in that regard, you know that Tony Khan is going to do everything in his power to rectify the mistake that he made. Now, why did Satnam Signh sign with AEW? According to Dave Meltzer, Satnam Signh was brought into AEW to break into the Indian market. It can be compared to what happened with WWE as they made Jinder Mahal the WWE champion when Jinder Mahal was on SmackDown and they wanted to break into the Indian market that way, but that didn't work out at all. And you know why that didn't work out? Because no one gave a shit about Jinder Mahal as the WWE champion because he sucked. More people in India wanted to see Roman Reigns at the time, and Roman Reigns was the worst act on television at that time when he was a babyface. But the people in India cared to see Roman more than they cared to see Jinder. And you know why? Because Jinder is a terrible fucking wrestler. Now, he's right where he should be. He's nothing but a jobber. Exactly what he should be. But WWE gave him the WWE Championship way back when. And they sacrificed the quality of SmackDown and they drove SmackDown into the ground to a point where it almost never recovered. Now, as far as this goes, as far as Satnam Signh goes, we are not about to see Satnam Signh win the AEW World Title. We're not. This is not going to be anywhere close to what WWE did with Jinder Mahal. You know why? Because Tony Khan is smart. Now, I appreciate the fact that he said it could have been handled better because the debut sucked. The debut sucked. It was not done and not executed well at all. However, here's what I have. Here's what I have on my mind that's a little concerning. He's not going to win the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. He's not. But the problem is this. Based on what we saw, it doesn't look like he should be wrestling in the ring at all. Now, supposedly he's been doing well in his training sessions, but unless he pulls a Pat McAfee, unless he pulls a Logan Paul, unless he pulls a Bad Bunny, I do not want to see Satnam Signh anywhere near a fucking ring. Now, if Satnam Signh is the muscle, if he's the bodyguard, if he is the heavy, if he is the manager of Jay Lethal, and Jay Lethal is in the ring winning matches consistently while Satnam Signh is standing there looking all menacing, him being paired with Sanjay Dutt, that is completely fine. That is completely fine, and I don't think anyone would have a problem with that. I would certainly not complain about that, but if Satnam Singh's wrestling in the ring, even if it's just for a one-off, no, absolutely not. That is a disaster waiting to happen. Shaq looked better in the ring than Satnam Signh did on his first night. And Shaq isn't even a fucking professional wrestler, but Shaq executed better moves and moved around the ring better than Satnam Signh. Now, Shaq, he's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. I'm not sure how Satnam Signh was in terms of basketball, but hey, look, if Satnam Signh was fast in basketball, there's no reason why he shouldn't be fast in AEW television. As far as I'm concerned, Satnam Signh should be nowhere near an AEW ring, because from what we saw on Wednesday, he does not know what the fuck he's doing. Now, if he's the manager for Jay Lethal, fine. No issue with that right there. You don't need to have him compete in order to break into the Indian market. If you simply feature him on television, fine. You simply feature him on television, everything will be good. But if he's competing in the ring against a Samoa Joe or someone along those lines, that shit will not end well. It is going to end up disastrous. It's going to make people complain more about AEW. Now, the majority, 99% of the complaints as far as AEW goes are absolutely fucking retarded. Those people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And people can make fun of Tony Khan all they want, but Tony Khan was fucking correct in what he said about bots. Those bots fucking exist. Those bots exist, and they look to deliberately hate on everything AEW related. Gareth, WWE Gareth, Jobber Nation, those two fucking retards, Girl on Cinema, I call her Girl on Shitima. That cunt combined with those two other ones, they're all fucking bots. They are all retarded individuals simply looking to hate on AEW for attention because they can't generate any legitimate buzz for themselves. They can't generate any legitimate organic attention for themselves to a point where they need to do the one thing that everyone on social media falls back on whenever they need attention. Shit on AEW. Eric Bischoff is even doing it. I've lost a ton of respect for Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff is just as bad as Vince McMahon. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. But Satnam Signh, the debut sucked. I appreciate that Tony Khan admitted that he was wrong. And that's something that I want to see out of Tony Khan, out of a good CEO. He admitted that he was wrong, and now he's going to work to get better. I got no issue with that. Now, I will have an issue if he's competing in the ring. We're going to have to wait and see what happens going forward. But as far as we are concerned now, it's done. It's over with. Tony Khan acknowledged that it was wrong. Now we move on. Tony Khan's going to look to rectify it. As long as he's not competing in the ring, I think we'll be good. If he's the bodyguard of Jay Lethal, I don't think we should be complaining. No, nobody should be complaining about that. Him being a bodyguard for Jay Lethal, no issue with that at all. If Jay Lethal's the one winning matches and he's competing against guys like Samoa Joe, I think we'll all be fairly happy. I'll tell you what will not make anyone fairly happy. Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon, he issued a new decree, a new law, because he is a senile dictator. Everything has to be done his way. It is my way or no way. You're fired, my company, blah, 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 blah. This fucking bastard, Vince McMahon. Wrestling Observer Newsletter. Wrestling Observer Newsletter discussed the recent batch of WWE name changes, and the talent was given a memo by Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon decreed that he doesn't want anyone using their real names anymore, nor names they've used before on the indie scene. I don't know why, but I can come up with a logical reason why. There's two reasons why. Number one has to do with Triple H, and we've already discussed this. This is no secret. If you haven't realized this by now, you may be fucking retarded. I don't give a shit who you are. If you are not understanding what is going on here with WWE and the recent WWE name changes, I think you may very well be mentally retarded. Vince McMahon is changing all of these names because he wants to continuously give a middle finger to Triple H. This is Vince getting his payback on Triple H because he is too fucking stubborn to admit that he was wrong. Vince is too fucking stubborn to admit that he's wrong, so you know what he's going to do? He thinks that everything he does is perfect. Vince McMahon is God. Vince McMahon thinks the WWE product is completely fine. So what does he do? He's constantly changing every single thing that Triple H had a hand in creating. He's changing every single thing that Triple H had a hand in creating deliberately to erase the history of Triple H and give Triple H middle finger after middle finger after middle finger after middle finger until everything is completely gone. He wants everything that was directly associated with Triple H either gone from the company or completely changed to a point where no one even fucking remembers. And it absolutely sucks. It sucks. It is a spit in the face to everything that Triple H did. It is a spit in the face. It is a kick in the balls. It is downright fucking disgusting. I fucking hate Vince McMahon. I hate that man with the fire of 1,000 stages of hell. I swear to God, I hate Vince McMahon to a point where I would legitimately tell him to fuck himself, to go fuck himself directly to his face. I cannot fucking stand Vince McMahon. I fucking hate him. I hate him for what he's done to this company. And I hate him for brainwashing so many fucking people like the fucking retards I just named earlier before I got into the Vince McMahon name-changing news. I hate Vince McMahon. His pettiness, his unprofessionalism just irks the shit out of me. It sucks. It really sucks. Triple H does not deserve that. Triple H was doing what Tony Khan is doing right now. Triple H was booking professional wrestling how it should be booked. What NXT 1.0 was doing, that's exactly what the WWE should be. That's exactly what the WWE should be. I don't give a shit whether you like it or you don't like it. That is how the company should be. That, AEW and NXT 1.0, those are the two models that you run a wrestling promotion on, and I don't want to hear a fucking peep out of any of you motherfuckers. None of you. Number one, he wants to give Triple H a fuck you. Though that's the top reason for these name changes. Number two, WWE has got to trademark everything. WWE has to own everything. Vince McMahon needs to own the fucking world. Vince McMahon needs to own the fucking air that we breathe in. Vince McMahon is a fucking egomaniac to a point where he will legitimately die in vain because he didn't get to own everything. Vince McMahon wants to fucking be God. He wants to own every single type of match. He wants to own every single type of name. He wants to own every single type of prop. It is so fucking ridiculous to a point where after all of this, all I can do is laugh. All I can do is laugh because it's just so pathetic. Vince McMahon wants to be the only game in town and act like WWE is the end-all be-all. WWE is the only thing that matters. It is fucking ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And these name changes, they ain't going to go over well. You know why? Vince McMahon's going to change something, and then when it doesn't get over, he's going to blame the talent. Because I'm never wrong. I'm Vince McMahon. I am God. I was Jesus Christ. I rose on the third day. I am the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And that right there, it's good shit. Vince McMahon is delusional as fuck. When it doesn't get over, he's going to blame the talent instead of blaming himself and working to get better because he can't do wrong. I hate Vince McMahon. I fucking hate him. I'll tell you what else I hate. I fucking hate Warner Media. Warner Media is run by a bunch of fucking woke pussies. I hate Warner Media. You know why I hate Warner Media? Wrestling Observer Newsletter, they confirmed that the Briscoes, they look to be in Impact Wrestling as regulars. And this seems to confirm that AEW was told by Warner Media to not sign the Briscoes to a Ring of Honor / AEW contract. Warner Media is in the same breath as Vince McMahon. Just like it's fuck Vince McMahon, fuck Warner Media. I don't give a shit what the Briscoes did. I don't give a shit what they did. What happened 10 years ago should not have a direct effect on what happens in the present. And if you are one of these people that are still getting all up in arms and they're getting their fucking panties in a bunch and you're whining and complaining about something that happened 10 years ago, get the fuck over it. As if that's going to have a direct effect on your life. Grow a pair of fucking balls. If you're a chick, grow a pair of tits. Seriously, grow the fuck up. Grow the fuck up. Get over it. There are plenty worse things in this life than getting mad over what someone said 10 years ago. People change, people evolve, and you get over it. If they apologize and they work to get better, which they have, then you fucking let it go. You let it go. Fucking babies, everybody. Everyone is a woke baby. A liberal pussy. I swear to God, I really do hope Elon Musk does everything in his fucking power. I really do. I hope Elon Musk does everything in his fucking power to buy Twitter. He buys Twitter, and he does everything in his power to bring back free speech, reinstate Donald Trump, and when that happens, I'm going to be smiling from ear to ear. And then when 2024 comes around, you know what's going to happen. He's going to come back, and he's going to retake the seat that was stolen from him in the 2020 election. Joe Biden didn't win. If you actually think Joe Biden won the election, I mean, you may be even more retarded than the people that support WWE television. Swear to God, Elon Musk, do whatever you can, man. Do whatever you can to buy Twitter. Do whatever you can to buy Twitter. I am in Elon Musk's corner, 1,000%. And I love the fact that all these woke pussies get all pissed at him. Go fuck yourself. Elon Musk forever, baby. Trump 2024. #MAGA. And that's not me in character, by the way. I'm just letting you know. See who else is going to cancel me. See who else is going to cancel me. But as far as Warner Media goes, again, fuck Warner Media. It is honest to God time that people get the fuck over this shit. What happens 10 years ago should not have a direct effect on what happens in the present. Now, maybe after what happens in Impact, maybe Impact will be in Warner Media's ear. Maybe we do see the Briscoes in AEW in due time. It's probably not going to be for the time being. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm not going to sit here and say that AEW needs the Briscoes, but I would like to see the Briscoes in AEW. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But considering that they're in Impact now, it is clear as day that Warner Media doesn't want them, and it's fuck Warner Media all day, every day. Speaking of Impact, Fightful Select, they reported that Karl Anderson and Doc Gallows' contract with Impact Wrestling is set to expire this summer. Now, I love the Good Brothers. I love Karl Anderson. I love Doc Gallows. I think that they were insanely underutilized in WWE, and I'm very happy that they found success in Impact. However, if they do indeed leave Impact, it is a very, very shaky scenario. I don't know if they'll find that much success in AEW. I would love to see him in AEW. I would really love to see him in AEW because they're a great tag team and they could put on some great fucking matches in AEW. I actually would love to see a Young Bucks versus Good Brothers match. We were actually deprived of that match. We haven't seen the Good Brothers on AEW TV in a good while. So if we do get Karl Anderson and Luke Gallows versus Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, I would not mind that at all. Now, I'm not saying that they're definitely going to go to AEW. They could go to New Japan. They could go to NWA. Maybe we see him in House of Glory. House of Glory has actually been doing really well as of lately. A lot of people have been loving what House of Glory has been doing. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with the Good Brothers, but it's something to keep an eye on. And they could very well add to an already stacked AEW tag team division. It's going to be great. Karl Anderson and Doc Gallows' contract with Impact Wrestling expires this summer. Do they sign an extension? I don't know. I would actually love to see these two versus FTR. We haven't seen that match yet. Maybe they sign with Ring of Honor. Who knows? Maybe they're in Ring of Honor. Maybe we see them versus FTR for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. That's going to be great if we do see that. If they go to Ring of Honor, I'm down. I'm down for that. Cody Rhodes. Got a lot of Cody news. First piece of Cody Rhodes news is from PW Insider. PW Insider, they came out and they reported that Cody Rhodes is currently listed as the number 2 babyface on Raw, right behind Bobby Lashley. Now, I'm not really sure why Bobby Lashley is the number 1. It's kind of stupid that they would make Bobby Lashley the number 1. Cody Rhodes is probably the most over babyface in the entire company right now, minus Drew McIntyre. But if I was WWE, I would definitely make Cody the number 1 babyface overall for the time being. Cody Rhodes right now, they got a gold mine with Cody Rhodes. They don't even know it. There's a report that Roman Reigns ain't losing his titles anytime soon. I'm actually going to be quite disappointed. The titles are unified, so there should only be one champion. And now that we see Jimmy and Jey Uso, they are unifying the Raw and SmackDown tag team titles. If they do win at WrestleMania Backlash, then there should only be one set of tag team titles and one set of world championships. If that's the case and they don't split them up, then you would have falsely advertised the unification match, and everything that you did with Roman and Lesnar in that build-up, and then the Usos and RK Bro in that build-up, it would all be for nothing. And we wouldn't want that. But Cody Rhodes currently listed as the number 2 babyface on Raw, right behind Bobby Lashley. Thought that everyone should be aware of that. Now on to the big piece of Cody Rhodes news. That was the smaller piece. The bigger piece right here involves Cody Rhodes and what happened on Miz TV this past Monday, which we're going to talk about. After this, we're going to get into the weekly show reviews. On Monday Night Raw, Cody Rhodes was on Miz TV. He was being interviewed by The Miz, of course, and he used words in his promo such as belt and wrestlers. I want the undisputed WWE Universal Championship belt. I came to fight the best wrestlers in the world. Miz then went on to correct Cody on both of those occasions. Now, these words, belt, wrestlers, and a couple of other words, are banned from promos because WWE and Vince McMahon, they are all fucking retarded. They are banned from promos. However, Cody was allowed to say them. Now, a lot of people were wondering if this was a botch on Cody's behalf because he's not integrated into the WWE system yet, and he's been away from WWE for so long that these terms have been outlawed. Some people were wondering if this is what Cody's going to do going forward, and it was confirmed, actually. It was confirmed, actually. According to Ringside News, Cody is going to be using words that are prohibited by Vince McMahon going forward because that will be a part of the Cody Rhodes act, the Cody Rhodes character, and the Cody Rhodes persona going forward. And this is a great thing, and I'll tell you why it's a great thing. WWE has a lot of problems. They have a lot of problems everywhere you look. There is little to no good about the current WWE product as we speak. Nothing. Nothing's good. However, one of their biggest problems is they don't make anyone feel special. Everyone, minus Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, they all feel the same. There's no difference between Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. There's no difference between Omos and Bobby Lashley. There's no difference between Cedric Alexander and Sami Zayn. There's no difference between Ricochet and Humberto Carrillo. There's no difference between Dana Brooke and Austin Theory. Everyone feels the same. Nobody stands out. Nobody has that one factor that differentiates themselves from everyone else and makes them unique. Meanwhile, you take a look on AEW television, everyone is unique. Everyone is different. Everyone sticks out. Hangman is different from Cole. Cole is different from Darby. Darby is different from Andrade. Andrade is different from Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa is different from Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander is different from Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill is different from the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks are different from FTR. Everyone in AEW has their own unique qualities that differentiate them from everybody else. No one's like that in WWE. With Cody Rhodes in a position in which he is using words that are prohibited, that are banned internally by Vince McMahon, that shit right there is going to make Cody Rhodes stand out. And that is exactly what WWE needs to do. If Cody Rhodes comes out here and says all these banned words, belt, wrestler, number one contender, whatever it may be, that is going to make Cody stand out from the rest of the crowd to a point where people are going to recognize, oh shit, that's Cody Rhodes. He's special. Cody Rhodes is actually doing something that we don't normally see on WWE television. That is going to put him among the elite class of people like Lesnar and Reigns because Cody Rhodes is doing something that everyone else is not doing. Cody Rhodes needs to feel special. Cody Rhodes, after a while, after 6-7 months, a lot of people start to feel as though Cody's just like everyone else. How many fucking retards are already complaining about Keith Lee? Jim Cornette's a fucking moron. He's complaining that Keith Lee just feels like another wrestler on AEW television. Meanwhile, Keith Lee, he's been doing better than he ever was on WWE's main roster, spread across Raw for a year and a half. Jim Cornette, fuck Jim Cornette. He is completely fucking retarded. You take a look at Keith Lee now, he stands out from everyone else on AEW television. Now, if Cody is going to say these banned words, this is going to make Cody feel special. This is going to make Cody stand out from the crowd. This is going to make Cody Rhodes an individual that has a quality, one quality that nobody else has as of right now. And if he's the only one doing that, it's going to make him unique. This is a great thing, and I'm very much happy. If this is indeed true, I am very much happy that WWE is going forth with this. I am very much happy that we will see Cody Rhodes break the rules that Vince McMahon has laid down, and Vince McMahon gave him that green light. This is a great thing, and everyone should be behind this. Great news there from Cody. They never get it right, WWE, but this time they got it right. So far, they have been doing Cody Rhodes justice. They've been booking him fairly okay. We'll see how things go progressing into WrestleMania Backlash and the rematch with Seth Rollins. Those are your news, rumors, and reports. I hope everyone's having a good time. I hope Hooligram and Dee Dee. I hope everyone, Adam, Karl, Earl Cole. I hope you are all having a wonderful time. We are going to get into the weekly show reviews in just a little bit. But first things first, I'm going to need y'all make sure that you come on in and you hit the like button. As I said, you hit the like button, you come on in, and you share the stream out on all platforms of social media because we got a lot of material to go over. So, let us go over Monday Night Raw, which sucked. So, the show started off with The Miz. I know that not many people would like to discuss would like to discuss The Miz because The Miz absolutely sucks. But Cody Rhodes actually made Miz TV quite bearable. Not gonna lie. Cody Rhodes actually made Miz TV quite bearable. I know that's a little out of character for me because The Miz is a guy that makes the WWE product worse as much as he's on television. However, I will say this. This was actually a pretty decent little segment. So The Miz came out on Miz TV. Crowd was booing him. He introduced Cody Rhodes as his guest. Grand entrance and all. The crowd was very hyped. He soaked it all in. Miz actually mocked Cody's long entrance. The Miz then called out Cody for being an egomaniac and trying to upstage him on his own show. Cody then said, "Don't begrudge me. It's been a long time since I was in front of a crowd like this." Cody then just soaked it all in. The Miz then said Cody's reason to return was admirable. But without your father, you would be nothing. Without your father, you would be just a plumber. Cody then went, being a plumber would be pretty good because you're completely full of, he was going to say shit, and he goes, you know what, let me stop myself. I think you all know what I meant. So that was actually a nice little line by Cody there. Cody goes, you haven't changed a day, but do I look the same to you? Everyone made it clear. What I need to do is win the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship belt. Miz then said, it's a title, a belt holds up your pants. So obviously this plays into what Cody Rhodes is doing with saying these banned terms and all of that. Miz goes, I heard Rollins wants a rematch, and I don't like your chances against Rollins or your chances against me tonight. The crowd then chanted Cody. Miz got a little pissed. He goes, I single-handedly destroyed the Mysterios and Logan Paul. We all know where you've been, but this is my show, and I will not stand for any of this. Cody then said, settle down. Unlike many people, I actually respect your accomplishments here, but you're getting all on edge because maybe you feel a bit threatened by me. I don't have an issue with Rollins, but you made things personal. I came back to beat the very best wrestlers. Cody then said, at wrestlers, Miz said, they're superstars. Cody said, superstars, wrestlers, whatever. I'm really looking forward to my first match back on Raw in 6 years. May the best man win. Miz then tried to attack Cody, and Cody sent Miz out of the ring, and Cody stood tall to end this segment. Decent little segment right here. Again, probably the most bearable episode of Miz TV that we've seen in quite some time. I do not have any complaints about this. This was actually a pretty decent start to the show, and both men came off very well. Veer Mahan. Fear the Veer, they say. Veer Mahan. He has finally come to Raw. He finished blowing his load. He took on Dominic Mysterio. Veer just completely destroyed Dominic Mysterio. He actually looked pretty well. They mentioned that he has a $1 million arm. He hit a few big lariats on Dominic Mysterio, and they mentioned that he was actually a pitcher for the MLB. I can't remember which team that they said that he was, but he was a pitcher for the MLB. And if that's the case, that's a nice little detail that they added on top of his character. So he locked in a cervical clutch, and Veer won via tap out. Dominic Mysterio was then attacked more by Veer, kept in the cervical clutch, locked in deep, and Veer beat Dominic Mysterio down so badly that they took Dominic Mysterio away on a stretcher. Listen, I'm actually very happy that they established Veer in a dominant fashion, but holy shit, Dominic Mysterio is dead. Dominic Mysterio is a dead act. Dominic Mysterio is no better than Dana Brooke, and it absolutely sucks. Why aren't the Mysterios in the tag team division? Why aren't the Mysterios in the tag team division, winning the tag team titles, fighting teams like RK Bro and the Usos and all those individuals? Why are we stuck in a scenario in which we have Dominic Mysterio being nothing more than a fucking enhancement talent for Veer Mahan? You couldn't have picked anyone else? Really, really, really unfortunate there. AJ Styles. AJ Styles took on Damian Priest. I really, really don't know what to say here. It's really quite sad what Damian Priest has been reduced to. And you know for a fact that it's going to happen with Edge when Edge comes back. This match was actually shaping up to be a very good match. And I was sitting there like, you know what? Monday Night Raw isn't really that bad. Monday Night Raw so far ain't that bad at all. So they started fighting immediately. Some stiff strikes. Coming back from commercial, Styles with a reverse moonsault DDT. Styles then mounted a comeback with an Ushi-Goroshi. Priest came back with an elevated flatliner for a 2. Styles then hit the Pele kick. Priest kicked Styles out to the ring. All of a sudden, Styles was on the outside after Priest kicked him out. Priest then kneeled down, put his hands up in the air like he was summoning the forces of evil. The lights went out, and then we had this big purple spotlight as if Edge was there cutting a promo, this big purple spotlight, and Priest looks into the camera with this menacing look, and he legitimately looked like something out of fucking Underworld. He legitimately looked like a fucking vampire from fucking Underworld, Rise of the Lycans. That's what I got from this. I got Underworld vibes from what Damian Priest did from here. Here's the crazy part about it. They came back from fucking commercial, and the match just fucking ended. What the fuck are you doing? Like, what happened? That's how you end the match? You couldn't have given Damian Priest a solid win after he aligned himself with one of the greatest of all time in Edge? You couldn't give Damian Priest a solid fucking win? No. Let's have Damian Priest summon the forces of evil with the vampire fucking fangs. And boom, the match just ends. Styles was even like, what the hell was that? I don't know what that was, but no one is going to stop me from getting to Edge. Whatever the fuck AJ Styles said. Absolutely fucking ruined. We got enough of this shit with The Fiend. We got enough of this shit with Alexa Bliss. This was fucking terrible. Terrible. A great match, shaping up to be a great match, ruined. WWE couldn't help themselves. Oh, you know what? Let's have Damian Priest summon the forces of evil, and he can look like he just came out of fucking Underworld. Yeah, great job, great match, ruined. Fucking stupid. Seriously, absolutely fucking stupid. Cody Rhodes versus The Miz. It's probably the most bearable thing on the show. I'm going to be quite honest here. This was actually the best Miz match that we've seen since his match with Bryan Danielson at SummerSlam in 2018. That was the last great Miz match that we saw. Miz and Cody Rhodes actually worked very well together. This was actually a pretty decent fucking match. I'm not going to lie. So Seth Rollins actually came out right as the match started. We go to the match, and Cody's in control. He hit a disaster kick, sending The Miz to the floor. Rhodes, he then hit a stalling gourd buster. A nice stalling gourd buster for 2. We then had Cody Rhodes. He had his leg worked on by The Miz. The Miz wore down Cody Rhodes, coming back from commercial. Cody wanted The Miz to hit him. He's like, hit me. So Miz and Cody, they traded blows. Cody then came in with a power slam, a swift power slam, and then he hit a suicide dive through the ropes. He missed a crossbody off the top rope. Miz with a drop kick to Cody's knee. Cody sold the shit out of it. Then Miz locked in a figure 4 on Cody. Cody just fought out of it. He turned it over. Miz got to the ropes. Cody hit a very nice looking Cody cutter, and then he hit the crossroads for the win. 1, 2, 3, and Cody Rhodes beats The Miz in a pretty decent match here. Afterwards, Rollins came into the ring. He didn't attack Cody. He just laughed at Cody. He took the mic. He goes, Cody, I heard you say all these kind things about me. But I also heard you throw the word rematch. At WrestleMania, you had every single advantage. How about Rollins versus Rhodes 2? Cody said yes, and Rollins celebrated, and he danced around Cody like only Seth Rollins knows how to do. I don't have an issue with this as long as we don't get 50-50 booking. I don't have an issue with this. If Cody Rhodes loses, then you would have automatically destroyed Cody Rhodes' appeal. His appeal would be ruined. Cody Rhodes needs to remain undefeated until he wins the championship. And then he loses the championship to whoever they want to have him lose the championship to. That is what needs to happen. So, after that, we go to Liv Morgan and Naomi. 2 minutes. How pathetic is that? 2 fucking minutes. 2 minutes. Naomi won with a roll-up. Back and forth roll-ups, Naomi got the win. Who cares? We got the tag team title match booked for next week. That is when I assume Rhea's going to turn heel, and we indeed get Liv Morgan getting the shit beat out of her by Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley joining Edge's new stable. Bobby Lashley, he made his way to the ring for the VIP lounge. They had the VIP lounge set up in the ring. Lashley said, I'm just going to invite myself to the VIP lounge. He then called out MVP. MVP then came out with Omos, the Black Great Khali, Omos. Lashley wanted an explanation. Omos, I will say, Omos looked good. Omos was there wearing a nice suit. MVP, he said, everyone should be saying, thank you, MVP. But when I came back, you were floundering. I made you. I resurrected you, and I helped you unlock your true potential. and you don't want to share your WrestleMania moment with me, I made you. Lashley goes, no, you came back for your farewell tour. You were getting ready to hang up your boots. And then you latched on to your next meal ticket, and I went to the top on my own. MVP goes, I'm not looking at the past. I'm looking towards the future. And Omos is smart enough to realize that he needs me. And I promise you won't survive your next match with Omos. Lashley goes, I'll topple the giant again, and then I'm coming to get you. Listen, the back and forth with MVP and Bobby Lashley, the back and forth was fine. The back and forth is fine. That I don't mind. The story is there, but I'm sorry. There's no way that you can honestly tell me that you're devoting even 1% of your care to this program. What reason is there to care? The build should be fine, but the match itself is going to be shit. The match itself is going to be shit. And you know why it's going to be shit? You know why it's going to be shit? Because Omos is fucking horrendous. Omos fucking sucks dick. Omos is one of the worst, if not the worst wrestler on the planet today. So please, tell me exactly, what reason is there for anybody to care about Omos versus Bobby Lashley 2 if the first match was as terrible as it was? This match is going to be even worse. This match is going to be even worse. The match is going to suck elephant dick. There's no reason for anyone to care. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. And once again, I don't understand why WWE always needs to destroy a good thing. They had something perfect. They had something perfect on their hands with Bobby Lashley and MVP. And what do? Oh, let's have MVP go manage the Black Great Khali. Bobby Lashley will be fine. You're telling me Lashley and MVP couldn't be a babyface duo on their own? Why exactly did Bobby Lashley and MVP split up? Why? Split. WWE always ruins something perfect. Lashley and MVP were the perfect combo, and they fucked it up. Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville was in the back, and she told Pierce that she has a great first opponent for Bianca Belair. I had a feeling I knew who it was right from the word go. Before she even made that announcement, I had a feeling I knew who it was. Queen Zelina. I think we should rename Zelina. Let's rename her. She's not Zelina Vega. She is Zeluzer Vega. Zeluzer Vega. So Bianca Belair took on Queen Zeluzer, and she beat Queen Zeluzer with a KOD in 2 minutes, and that was it. Sonya Deville then came out. We go to commercial. Coming back from commercial, Sonya said she took it upon herself to find a new opponent for Bianca. She named off various women. Bianca was hyped herself. Sonya said she has an open contract. Bianca signed it. And Bianca Belair's opponent was revealed to be Sonya Deville herself. She attacked Bianca Belair and dropped her in the middle of the ring. And she stood tall. And this is the match that we will get at WrestleMania Backlash. Listen, the match itself should be very good. Sonya Deville is very good at what she does. Sonya Deville is a very underrated talent, and she got better over the course of X amount of years. She really improved over the years. Coming from me, and when she came up to WWE on Monday Night Raw towards the end of 2017, she was green as shit. No one gave a fuck about her. She did not have anything going for her. Now, Sonya Deville has really grown into her own Bianca and Sonya, that sounds like a very intriguing match. And I'm happy that we're getting new matches. And we're getting a new match and a new opponent for Bianca Belair. I got no issue with this. Here's the problem that I have. The problem is not with the match. Here's the problem. This is obviously an abuse of power by Sonya Deville. This is obviously an abuse of power by Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville has been abusing her power since the summer of 2021, last year. She put Naomi through hell. She put Naomi through hell week after week after week after week. Legitimate hell every single week. To a point where she eliminated her from the Women's Rumble. She got involved in her matches against Charlotte Flair. She slapped her, and then she put a coat on. Oh, I'm wearing a vest. I'm wearing my coat. I'm an official. You can't touch me. She abused her power week in and week out, put Naomi through hell, and now she does this. I would love to know, seriously, I would love to know, after all of that, after everything that she did to Naomi, her storyline, and everything that happened there, I would love to fucking know how the fuck this woman is still in an authoritarian position of power. How is this woman still an authority figure after all of that? Even Vince McMahon, per storyline, came in. Not really, but Vince McMahon, per storyline, was said to get involved with what was going on. And Vince McMahon even said, I hate people that abuse their power. It's ironic, but Vince McMahon even got involved. After all of that, how has this woman's position of power not been revoked from her? Here's another thing. She actually came back and she actually got in Adam Pearce's face and says, I'm the first authority figure to win a championship and there's nothing you can do to stop me. Do not be ashamed just because you're past your prime. All of a sudden now, Sonya Deville is in a higher position of power than Adam Pearce? When the fuck did that happen? No logic whatsoever. How is this woman still a WWE executive after all the instances per storyline for the last 9 months in which she abused her power week after week after week after week? How? Does that make any sense after everything that she did? And all of a sudden now she's above Adam Pearce in the WWE official totem pole? She's higher than Adam Pearce? She's higher ranked? When did that happen? Why hasn't Adam Pearce revoked Sonya Deville's power? Why wasn't her power revoked immediately when she had her return match against Naomi? Here's an even better question. Why was Sonya Deville even gifted an authority position in the first place? Why did you bring Sonya Deville back after 4 months away, which, by the way, we still haven't even gotten an explanation as to why she returned, because she lost a loser leaves WWE match, and then she just showed back up like, oh, hey, I'm back. No explanation. No explanation at all. And then, now all of a sudden, she abused her power, and Adam Pearce has not revoked her position. How long has Adam Pearce been a WWE official? Got to be at least 5 years, right? It's got to be up there. It's a hell of a lot longer than Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville's been an official for 16 months. She's been a WWE official for 16 months, and all of a sudden, she's in a higher position than Adam Pearce. What sense does that make? The match should be fine. Why Sonya is still in an authority position, that right there is not fine. No logic whatsoever. Adam Pearce should have revoked Sonya Deville's WWE official power immediately after the Naomi feud. Immediately. Sonya Deville needs to be a full-time in-ring competitor. The fact that she's not, it's making Sonya look stupid, it's making WWE look stupid, and it doesn't make the women's division look good either. Sonya needs to be a full-time competitor week in and week out. Get her out of this authority position. She should have never been brought back as an authority figure. Absolutely illogical garbage. We had a fucking bachelor party For Tamina and Dana, this ended in chaos when Nikki Trash, tried to steal the title. Truth then revealed that he is an ordained minister, and we will be having a double wedding next week. Kill me now. Kill me now. I hate this show. I don't even want to review Raw next week. RK Bro versus the Alpha Academy. Gable came out doing his usual shtick, trashing Detroit. RK Bro ended up getting the win over the Alpha Academy. We have seen this match at least 10 to 15 times within the last 4 months. RK Bro win. I'm glad that no champion here took a loss in a non-title match. That's gotta be a new record. The camera then panned to the back, and we had a Cadillac Escalade pull up, and it was the Usos. The Usos then made their way out to the ring. Orton said, "Look, the big dog let his bitches off the leash." Jay then said, "We here to issue the challenge." The Usos then challenged RK Bro to a championship unification match before the Street Profits came out, and they called out the Usos for having privilege, and they said they will be unifying the titles. Orton then said, "We want to see a fight." And so we get the Usos versus the Street Profits. Not before next week, we have Finn Balor versus Theory. For those of you wondering, it's actually Austin Theory, but they took out Austin and renamed him Theory. Really, what kind of theory? The Big Bang Theory? Big Bang Theory? Yeah, Big Bang Theory. I know my uncle, he loves the Big Bang Theory. Is that the theory that we're talking about? The Big Bang Theory. What other theories are there? What other weird-ass theories are there? The gravity theory before it became a law? Murphy's theory before it became Murphy's Law? What other fucking theories are there? Now he's just called Theory. Conspiracy theory, Big Bang Theory. Fucking stupid. What is with all of these fucking name changes? It is so fucking retarded. It is retarded. Austin Theory rolls off the tongue. Now he's just Theory. Fucking stupid. He's taking on Finn Balor next week for the U.S. title. Another match that WWE is giving away 3 months too early. This match should be saved for SummerSlam. But no. Naomi and Sasha Banks versus Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. That match is for the women's tag team titles. It's going to be booked next week, and it will happen next week. Usos versus Street Profits. This is actually a very good match. Really good stuff right here. Nice double team moves with Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. Beautiful crossbody, a running blockbuster. Jay then hit a back suplex neckbreaker for a 2. Dawkins then took out Jay. We had a blockbuster electric chair combo before Jimmy kicked out of that. Super kick to Dawkins. Uso splash, but it was countered. Frog splash by Montez. Jimmy Uso then saved the match. Dawkins was then sent into the post. And then the Usos hit the 1D for the win. RK Bro then stood face-to-face with the Usos, and the Usos walked off. Dawkins then took out Riddle and RK Bro, and RK Bro was temporarily in a position in which they were vulnerable. Orton hit an RKO on Ford, and the Usos took advantage of Orton's vulnerability and hit a double super kick, and they held up all the gold to end the show. This show sucked, minus the Cody Miz match, minus the Usos Street Profits match. This show sucked. Raw sucks. WWE sucks. I don't give a shit. If you support this trash program, you suck just as much. Speaking of a trash program, NXT 2.0, I actually covered it. I covered NXT 2.0 this week because I figured it would have been something of note. It really wasn't anything of note. It was all about the opening match and the closing match. Those are the two matches that were worth going back to watch. Other than that, the entire show was a waste of time. The entire show sucked. NXT has been reduced to nothing, and NXT is a complete fucking joke. I didn't cover NXT UK. I got to go back and rewatch it. I'll probably be doing that after I get off of the stream. But we're going to go over NXT 2.0. Thank you very much, every single one of you, for stopping by and hanging with me. You guys have been great since the start. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. We got a lot more to go over. First things first, I'm going to need you. If you haven't already done so, please make sure you indeed are liking the stream when you come on in. Liking the stream when you come on in. And please make sure that you share out the stream on all platforms of social media. Every single platform of social media. Please. Share it out on all platforms of social media, and make sure that everyone is aware that DJ Storms is live on YouTube. It's vital, people. It's very vital. Because I have a theory. I have a theory that actually, it's not a theory, it's a fact. DJ Storms runs the IWC. I run the IWC. So, NXT 2.0, like I said, show sucked. It was all about the opening match and the closing match. It was all about those two matches, and that was pretty much it. The opening match was probably the best match of the entire show. Probably the best match in all of WWE all week. Opening match, we saw Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes versus Solo Sikoa. This is for the NXT North American Championship. This was a very, very good match. Absolutely Solo Sikoa's best match in WWE to date. And I'm very, very impressed with how Solo Sikoa has been progressing. And I can definitely see Solo Sikoa as a guy to take the title off of Cameron Grimes, probably at a later date. So far, so good for Solo Sikoa. He's really, really, really come into his own. So, Grimes, he goes, I respect you, but your bloodline can kiss my grits. Very nice, cocky line there from Cameron Grimes. Gotta love Grimes. Grimes came back with a punt kick and a cannonball off the apron. Coming back from commercial, Solo was in control. He missed a hip attack. Grimes with a nice German suplex for a 2. Solo Sikoa then got the hip attack. He got a 2. We had a super kick by Sikoa. Grimes then caught him in a beautiful Spanish fly for a 2. Solo Sikoa with a nice pop-up Samoan drop. Grimes kicked out. All of a sudden, Trick Williams distracted Solo Sikoa. He took him out. Back in the ring. After Solo took out Trick Williams, Grimes came in with a cave-in, and he retained the North American title against Solo Sikoa in a very good match. After that, Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes then attacked, and they stood tall as Carmelo Hayes held up the North American title belt. Cameron Grimes is fucking amazing at what he does. Cameron Grimes is fucking awesome, and for real, Cameron Grimes really deserves a lot more praise than he's getting. Cameron Grimes right now, he is a combination of Bryan Danielson and AJ Styles. He's just that fucking good. He's just that fucking good. It is amazing how good Cameron Grimes has become over the course of X amount of years. I don't think he's had a bad match. Cameron Grimes has not had one bad match. And Cameron Grimes, he's one of the very few people from Triple H's NXT that has found some semblance of success on NXT 2.0. And I'm actually very happy for Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes is amazing. And Solo Sikoa was a great first opponent for him. Now, as far as Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes is concerned, I do not mind Carmelo Hayes getting a rematch. But after this, that should be the end, and Cameron Grimes should move on to someone else. I am hoping that we see Carmelo Hayes go after Braun Breaker, and Carmelo Hayes takes the NXT title from Braun Breaker, because Carmelo Hayes he could really, really, really use a NXT title reign under his belt. That would be great. I would love to see that. Braun Breaker. Speaking of Braun Breaker, the NXT champion, he came out to address the crowd. Joe Gacy, he was in the back. He goes, Joe Gacy, you wanted my attention. You got it. You got some nerve. Nobody messes with my family. All of a sudden, Joe Gacy came up on the screen. He showed the Hall of Fame ring. The Hall of Fame ring that he took off of his father, Rick Steiner's hand. He actually tossed it into a burning barrel, a barrel of fire, and he laughed. He laughed maniacally. Joe Gacy may very well be the best act on all of NXT television from a character standpoint. Cameron Grimes is probably the best in terms of an in-ring aspect, but holy shit, Gacy, I did not see anything in Gacy. Gacy has really come a long way. Props to Joe Gacy. Really. Props to Joe Gacy. He is great at what he does. Robert Stone and Von Wagner. I still don't understand what a Von Wagner is. If someone could fill me in, I would love to know what a Von Wagner is. What the fuck is a name? Von Wagner. What is a Wagner? Does that mean that a dog is wagging his tail? Oh, he's a Wagner. You know, it sounds like he's a fucking dog. Oh yeah, this is my new dog. He's a Von Wagner. So they attacked Jacket Time. They went out to the ring. Ikemen Jiro, he came out. He was all focused, and he said, Jiro is going to kick your ass. So we get the match. Von Wagner, he defeated Jiro with a rude bomb. Decent little squash right there. Then all of a sudden, some blonde chick in the crowd, I don't know who the fuck her name is, she motioned to Von Wagner to continue the assault on Jiro, and then he military pressed Jiro over the top rope into the crowd, full of plants, obviously. It was full of a bunch of plants, obviously. Now, the squash was decent, and the military press looked cool. But at the end of the day, I don't really understand the hype around Von Wagner. He's going to need a lot more seasoning. For some reason, I don't know why. For some reason, I have a feeling Von Wagner is going to take the fucking title off of Braun Breaker, which should not be the case. Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose took on Dakota Kai. This was for the NXT Women's Championship. Kai was in control early on with a big crossbody onto Toxic Attraction on the floor. Mandy then came in with a gourd buster. Kai then made a comeback with a big running boot for a 2. Spine buster by Mandy Rose. Kai then with a headbutt and a very sloppy-looking chiropractor. All of a sudden, Gigi Dolan and JC Jane got involved. Kai was then thrown the belt. Rose then hit a running knee to the belt to Dakota Kai's face. Mandy Rose retains the Women's Championship. Afterwards, Wendy Chu then gave Toxic Attraction a super soaker bath. Literally, she got a super soaker water gun, and they were flopping around where Toxic Attraction as if it was Stone Cold Steve Austin. As if it was Stone Cold Steve Austin giving them a beer bath. It looked fucking retarded. It legitimately looked fucking retarded. The women's division fucking sucks. It really does. The women's division fucking sucks. Dakota Kai is a lot better than this. Dakota Kai is much, much, much better than what we see of her right here. And I don't understand why Dakota Kai hasn't been called up to the main roster yet. Cora Jade, another one who sucks. Cora Jade should not even be on television. Cora Jade is an entitled millennial cunt. Stupid cunt, too. She's from fucking Chicago. You know that Chicago's a bunch of fucking liberal dumbasses over there. Let's be real. Let's be real. So she talked about stand and deliver. She cannot cut a promo to save her life. Get Cora Jade off of TV. She talked about busting her ass until she gets the title. She needs the title. Natalya then came out. Crowd was hyped. Crowd legitimately getting all hyped for fucking Natalya, as if Natalya has any value in this women's division. Jade was fangirling, all hyped. Cringe as cringe could be. Terrible. Cringe as cringe could be. Natalya ended up slapping Cora Jade after she said the future looks bleak, and then she put Jade in the sharpshooter, and she admired her handiwork. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? You know how fucking pathetic the women's division is when you gotta bring in Natalya, who has no value in her own right, as if Natalya's really gonna spark up some interest in NXT, as if Natalya is really gonna spark up some interest in the women's division in NXT. Sure. If Rampage has been beating NXT some weeks, if Rampage has beaten NXT some weeks in a shitty time slot on a Friday nonetheless, then that just goes to show you that NXT, it ain't that good. And sooner rather than later, the ratings are going to go down. Ratings will go down. Nathan Fraser had a promo package. He's coming to NXT 2.0. Yeah, as if he's going to do anything. What happened? What happened with all the other individuals that are Nathan Fraser's hype? I don't trust him. Draco Anthony versus Zion Quinn. Zion Quinn won with a flying forearm combination. I don't really give a shit. Who cares? This storyline means nothing. The one other thing besides the Cameron Grimes Solo Sikoa match that actually meant something, the NXT Tag Team Championship Gauntlet match. But before that, Persia Pirotta and Indy Hartwell pitched the idea of making Dexter Lumis and Duke Hudson a tag team. Yeah, makeshift tag team. That's going to really go over well. So the Creed brothers and Legado del Fantasma started off the tournament. You had a decent little back and forth between these two. Brutus Creed ended up catching a dropkick 450 splash combination. Julius then saved the match. He caught Legado del Fantasma. I believe it was Raul Mendoza, who, by the way, they renamed Raul Mendoza. His new name is now Cruz del Toro. Yeah, really going to go over well. So Julius hit a sliding lariat, and they advance. Then we go to Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs. Briggs and Jensen then power-bombed Brutus through the announce table. Awesome spot. We had a knee drop dominator combination by Briggs and Jensen. Really good stuff right there. Brutus saved the match. Brutus all of a sudden with a sliding lariat out of nowhere, and the Creeds advance. Grayson Waller and Sangha. Sangha looked like fucking Braun Strowman. I swear to God. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know if that's going to be his attire, but holy shit. Holy shit. Do not do that. Please. So, from there, Waller, he faked an injury to his arm. They wore down Brutus. Julius then got the tag. He tried to light up Waller. Brutus actually got Sangha up in a teardrop suplex. So, pretty impressive there. A sliding lariat by Julius Creed, and they eliminate Waller and Sangha. So, the Creeds are being booked like dominant monsters, and I'm loving how the Creeds are being booked. Pretty Deadly was the last team. This is Elton Prince and Kit Wilson. They went right on the attack. They had a decent little fight with the Creed brothers. Brutus got the tag. He caught an assisted gut buster, but he kicked out. Julius was then sent into the steps. Brutus tried to stay alive. We had an assisted code breaker by Pretty Deadly. Brutus then kicked out again. They took out Julius, and then they hit their spilt milk finisher, and Pretty Deadly are the new NXT Tag Team Champions. I don't see an issue with this. I know a lot of people were questioning it. They thought it was a bad decision. I don't necessarily see an issue with this. And I'll tell you why. First off, Pretty Deadly's great. Pretty Deadly is the pretty boy prick heels that have these punchable faces that to a point where you want to see them get their fucking ass kicked. I like that about Pretty Deadly. Really good stuff right there from Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly's awesome. And on top of that, the Creeds chasing Pretty Deadly, the team that attacked them, that right there is going to make for a great story. And when the Creeds finally beat Pretty Deadly, it's going to make their title win mean that much more. So I don't see an issue with this at all. I don't see an issue with this at all. This right here is a great move. It gives Pretty Deadly a tag team title run, and the Creed brothers are now going to chase Pretty Deadly, and they're going to be in a scenario where they are going to be chasing titles, is the Creeds, and the Creeds will inevitably get the titles at the hands of Pretty Deadly. I can't really complain about that. But outside of the opening match and the closing gauntlet match, the show was a waste of time. NXT is absolutely horrendous. NXT is horrendous right down to the very last letter. The show sucks dick. Show sucks dick. That's what we've come to expect from WWE television. WWE television is absolutely horrendous in every way, shape, and form. I'll tell you what's not horrendous, though. AEW Dynamite. That was not horrendous. That was actually a great show. The best show of the entire week. Awesome stuff with AEW Dynamite, and we are going to go over it all. But before we go over it all, once again, a big thank you to everyone who has been supporting me. A big thank you to Dee Dee. Big thank you to Peanuts. Big thank you to Adam Karl. Big thank you to everyone. Greatly appreciate every single one of you, and we are going to get right into the AEW Dynamite review. Before we do, like I've been saying, share it out on all platforms of social media, like, comment, and subscribe. So, AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite. Awesome, awesome material as per usual. Awesome material as per usual. We had CM Punk and Penta Oscuro. CM Punk and Penta Oscuro started off the show. And we got a very good wrestling match. Here with CM Punk and Penta Oscuro as CM Punk continues to win. So, first things first, we got into a chop-off with Penta and Punk. Punk hit a suicide dive, and he took over coming back from commercial. Penta and Punk looked like they slipped off the top rope, but it turns out it looked like it was part of the match, and Punk sold it as his knee was the target. So that became a story of the match. I actually like that little detail right there. Punk is a master of his craft. Punk is a master storyteller. So from there, Punk hit a Hurricane Rana off the top rope. Penta then went for the arm snap. Punk reversed it into the Anaconda Vice. Penta then got to the ropes. Punk then hit a roundhouse kick and a springboard clothesline. A running knee and a clothesline in the corner. Penta reversed the GTS. He hit an enziguri and a roll-up. Back and forth we go. Super kick by Penta. He went for a springboard move. Punk caught him in midair, and he caught him in a position in which he hit the GTS, and CM Punk wins a very good wrestling match to start off the show. And CM Punk. It looks like Punk versus Adam Page is all but confirmed for AEW Double or Nothing, which I got no issue with. Awesome stuff right there. Love CM Punk, love Penta. I would actually like Penta to remain in the singles division. Because Penta is amazing at what he does. Keep Penta in the singles division. Red Dragon, they took on Jurassic Express. This is for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. This was an awesome match, probably the best match of the entire night. Not the best match of the week, but the best match of the entire night. So Fish hit a dragon screw leg whip on Luchasaurus, sending him into the barricade. They isolated Luchasaurus. Jungle Boy then mounted a comeback with a tope suicida and a moonsault. Nice double team action. A big tope con hero on Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy then was isolated, coming back from the commercial. He made the tag to Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus lit up both Fish and O'Reilly with a nice tail whip kick and a double choke slam for a 2. Red Dragon then tried to fire back. Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy hit a sidewalk slam, elbow drop combo on Fish. He kicked out. O'Reilly then with a rolling butterfly suplex combination and then an armbar on Jungle Boy. He made it to the ropes. A guillotine on Luchasaurus. Now, this is a great spot right here. O'Reilly had a guillotine on Luchasaurus, and then we saw Bobby Fish and Jungle Boy on the top, and they launched themselves into an assisted Falcon Arrow off the top rope over O'Reilly while he had Luchasaurus in the guillotine. Very nice spot. O'Reilly was then slammed onto Luchasaurus, or onto Bobby Fish to break up the pinfall. O'Reilly then caught a swinging DDT by Jungle Boy, and then Jurassic Express hit the Thoracic Express, and Jurassic Express ended up retaining in an awesome fucking match. Absolutely the best match of the night, and Jurassic Express get the win. They retain the championships. Right outcome. They're not ready to take the titles off just yet. Keep the titles on them. They deserve a longer reign. Very good stuff right there. Very good stuff. So, after that, Red Dragon attacked Jurassic Express and they walked up the ramp. Kyle O'Reilly is swearing, saying this is bullshit. All of a sudden, they were confronted by FTR. Now, I thought that this was going to be the match for tonight. I thought we were going to see AAA and Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles, FTR versus Red Dragon tonight. But apparently they're saving that, which I don't mind. They're saving that for a later date. See what happens there. Shawn Dean, Captain Shawn Dean versus MJF. This was more of an angle, but this was an excellent, excellent, excellent angle. So, MJF, he acted like he couldn't get his jacket undone as if his scarf got caught in there. Wardlow was nowhere to be seen yet. Obviously, he faked it. You gotta love MJF. All of a sudden, Wardlow was shown again. Of course he was. He was shown in the back. Or they didn't actually show him in the back yet. They showed the security guards were down in the back. The crowd chanted Wardlow, and we want Wardlow. All of a sudden, a masked man walked behind him, and he unmasked himself to be Wardlow. He jumped the barricade. MJF ran off. Spears then took a chair, hit Wardlow in the back. Wardlow went after Spears and the security guards, and he took out the security guards. All the while, the ref was counting to 10. The ref was counting MJF out. All of a sudden, MJF took the microphone and goes, wait, Bryce, whatever Tony Khan is paying you, I will triple it. And obviously, Bryce didn't listen. Counted to 10. Shawn Dean won via a count out. Wardlow is over as fuck. MJF was trying to argue with Bryce Remsburg. Sean Spears was trying to have cooler heads prevail. All of a sudden, we see Wardlow in the back, and Wardlow grabs the camera. And I swear to God, this reminded me of when Stone Cold Steve Austin got his hands on Vince, and when we had Stone Cold look into the camera and say, I'm not done with you, Vince, not by a long shot. Wardlow grabbed the camera, he shook the camera, and he yells into the camera, MJF, this does not stop until I get my hands on you and you release me from my contract. This is excellent. This storyline is being booked perfectly. And when this match inevitably happens at Double or Nothing, it is going to be a great sight to behold. It's going to be a great sight to behold. This is great. This is great. This storyline is being booked perfectly. You cannot get any more perfect than this. I'll tell you what else is perfect. The Jericho Appreciation Society. I love me some Chris Jericho and the Jericho Appreciation Society. Really, really, really good stuff right here by the Jericho Appreciation Society. They went up against Edward Kingston, Eddie Kingston, and Proud and Powerful. So things spiraled out of control pretty quickly. We had Ortiz being isolated by Jake Hager. Ortiz got isolated by Jake Hager. Coming back from commercial, Jericho was in control. Ortiz made the hot tag to Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston, he lit up everyone. A couple of butterfly suplexes to Jake Hager and Daniel Garcia. All of a sudden, we had Santana come in. He hit the Three Amigos and a big frog splash in tribute to Eddie Guerrero. Really, really, really nice stuff right there. Really, really love that right there. All of a sudden, we saw a diving leg drop by Ortiz. Babyfaces were in full control. So the babyfaces were in full control. All of a sudden, we see 2.0 come out. 2.0 came out. Ortiz then took them out. He tagged in Eddie. Eddie hit a big exploder suplex, and then all of a sudden, Jericho hit Kingston with Floyd the Bat behind the referee's back, and they didn't see. Garcia got the pinfall. And that was it. And Jericho Appreciation Society win a very, very, very fun match. A very, 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 very fun match. I very much liked this match. I very much liked what they're doing with the Jericho Appreciation Society. It is a great thing to see. Really, really, really good stuff right here. And I greatly appreciate them. I greatly appreciate that the Jericho Appreciation Society is being booked very, very, very strongly. Afterwards, the Jericho Appreciation Society attacked Proud and Powerful and Eddie Kingston after the bell, and we inevitably see the Jericho Appreciation Society standing tall, and that was the way the segment went off the air. What I'm very much looking forward to is where this goes. Now, apparently, Tony Khan says we're going to see blood and guts again in the summertime. And if that's the case, I don't have an issue with that. If that's the case, let's get Hernandez and Homicide recruited by Eddie Kingston, and let's get a blood and guts match. That would be a great, great blow-off to this feud. That would be awesome. I'll tell you what wasn't awesome. Marina Shafir versus Sky Blue. Marina Shafir beat Sky Blue very quick with a modified triangle choke. Very, 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 very sloppy. I don't know what she was going for. Her music was terrible. She did not come off well at all. I don't know what they're planning on doing with Marina Shafir, but they got the match on Rampage with Jade Cargill next week. After that, that should be the end. That's got to be the end. That's the end. I don't want to see it again. And Marina Shafir needs to go back to dark until she is properly ready, because Marina Shafir is not ready. I don't understand how she has been training in professional wrestling for this long, and she's still this bad. That's actually quite pathetic. Marina Shafir defeats Sky Blue, and we get the TBS Women's Championship title program and the storyline coming to a head next week with Marina Shafir versus Jade Cargill. You know what we need? We need Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander should be facing Jade Cargill. Let me get Chris Statlander versus Jade Cargill at Double or Nothing for the TBS Women's Championship. Give me Toni Storm and Serena Deeb in the finals of the tournament. Toni Storm wins, and Toni Storm takes that title off of Serena Deeb. That is what we should be getting. So we go from something that was shit to something that was great, which was Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs versus Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee, and this was a great tag team match. This was a great tag team match. We had a very swift exchange by Swerve and Starks early on. Swerve then with a moonsault off of Keith Lee. So Keith Lee mounted himself on the rope, and Swerve moonsaulted off of Keith Lee's shoulders onto Team Taz. It looked awesome. It looked awesome. So coming back from commercial, Hobbs wore down Swerve. Swerve then tagged in Lee. He lit up Starks. Lee then tossed Starks into Hobbs. A double strike combination for a 2 on Starks. We had a roll-up by Swerve, a spear by Starks, and then a Canadian Destroyer for a very close 2 count. Really good stuff right there. Lee then tagged in a combo pounce, and then Hobbs and Lee got into it, and enziguri by Starks. Taz then came out. Hobbs was taken out by Swerve. Starks with a Hurricane Rana. Hobbs was then sent into the post. A spear by Starks. Keith Lee held Ricky Starks down as Swerve came off the top with a 450. Great move right there. All of a sudden, Swerve was taken out. Lee was tripped up by Taz, and Powerhouse Hobbs hit a beautiful spine buster. Beautiful spine buster, and Powerhouse Hobbs gets the win. Really good stuff. I am a little shocked that Hobbs actually got the win, but you know what? I'm not really complaining. I'm not really complaining because Keith Lee, let's be real here. Keith Lee is bulletproof. Keith Lee's bulletproof. Keith Lee is as over as all hell. And Powerhouse Hobbs, we all know that Powerhouse Hobbs is going to be a big player. Keith Lee is already set in line to be an AEW World Heavyweight Champion. There's no reason why he shouldn't be. But Powerhouse Hobbs, he could very well be a TNT champion in the next couple weeks. So I don't mind that Powerhouse Hobbs got the win here because Hobbs needed a big win, and this was a big win for Hobbs. So good on them. Big win for Hobbs right here. Really good stuff. A great tag team match. And you take a look at the level of talent in that match alone. You take a look at the level of talent in that match alone. AEW's future is in great hands. Hobbs, Starks, Swerve, Lee, they are all phenomenal. On Rampage, we had Cole and Page, part number 2. We had the Gun Club and the Blackpool Combat Club, and then Ruby Soho and Robin Renegade. That's all on Rampage. Next week, we got Wardlow versus The Butcher. Danielle Camella versus Britt Baker in an Owen Hart Cup Tournament qualifying match. We also got Andrade versus Darby Allin in a coffin match next week, which should be great, and we could very well see Malachi Black. He's actually been teasing it. I would love to see Malachi Black interfere. Give me Malachi Black versus Darby Allin at Double or Nothing. Give me it. That'd be great. And then also next week, we got Jungle Boy versus Kyle O'Reilly in an Owen Hart Cup Tournament qualifying match as well. Main event was Minoru Suzuki versus Samoa Joe. It's for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. I'm going to be quite honest here. I don't really get the appeal of Suzuki. I really don't get the appeal of Suzuki. He's very limited. Very limited. All he does is strikes. Very limited. Very lame. He's very lame. But the match itself was very good. Match itself was brutal. They chopped the shit out of each other to start the match to a point where their chests were actually turning fucking red. Heavy forearm strikes. Coming back from commercial, Joe with a powerbomb and an STF. Really good stuff. Suzuki came back with a chop off again. He's like, one more time. So Joe, with a sidewalk slam, he got out of the crossface from Suzuki. He couldn't get Joe up for the pile driver. Joe ended up hitting the Muscle Buster, and he won the title. Fun little match for what it was. And Samoa Joe already is being booked better in his second week in AEW than he was booked better on WWE television. A very good main event, fun main event, and we got Samoa Joe winning the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. Awesome stuff. Very happy for Joe. Afterwards, Sanjay Dutt and Lethal came out with a present. They held the box. They opened it. It was just a middle finger from Jay Lethal. All of a sudden, the lights then went out, and Satnam Signh was in the ring, and he aligned himself with Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt. They beat down Joe, and we had a lethal injection, and Sanjay Signh and Lethal all stood tall. I fully expect to see Jay Lethal in the Owen Hart Cup tournament qualifying match. I would actually love to see Jay Lethal and Samoa Joe face off in the semifinals. So give me Lethal advancing. Give me Lethal advancing to the semifinals, advancing in the first round, going to the semifinals and facing Joe. I think that'd be great. I already talked about the debut of Satnam Signh. Obviously, we all know it sucked. If you want my full thoughts on that, go back to the beginning of the stream. I talked about that during the news, rumors, and reports section, but that was Dynamite. Great wrestling all about Joe and Suzuki, Jurassic Express and Red Dragon, Swerve Keith Lee and Team Taz, CM Punk and Penta, Jericho Appreciation Society and Kingston, and Proud and Powerful. Awesome stuff all across the board. Great show for Dynamite. Rampage was also a great show. And we're going to talk about Rampage as well. AEW Rampage. It was at 7 p.m. That needs to be a thing going forward. Give me Rampage at 7 p.m. Whether it's taped, whether it's live, Rampage needs to be at 7 p.m. going forward. It doesn't even need to go to 2 hours. Give me Rampage at 7 p.m. going forward. I really hope Tony Khan is looking to do that. I really do hope so. So Rampage started off with a trios match. It was the Gun Club versus the Blackpool Combat Club. Wheeler Yuta is officially a part of the Blackpool Combat Club. Really, really, really good stuff. And he's fucking over. Wheeler Yuta, let me tell you something. Tony Khan, he has taken Wheeler Yuta and made him the unofficial fifth pillar of AEW. Wheeler Yuta is as over as all hell, and I'm very happy to see that Wheeler Yuta finally got the respect that he deserves, and he's starting to be appreciated for the great in-ring talent that he is. Wheeler Yuta's over, and it's fucking great. So Bryan Danielson and Billy Gunn, they got in there. The Gun Club then isolated Bryan. Moxley came in off the tag. He lit up Colton with a nice superplex. A double DDT on Austin and Colton. We had a Busaiku knee by Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, on Austin Gunn. Double clothesline by Billy. Yuta then stood face-to-face with Billy. The real work begins, says Yuta on Rampage. We had a nice full Nelson slam. Yuta kicked out. We had a roll-up by Yuta, and Yuta got the win in a very fun trios match. Yuta getting the win is a great thing to see because Wheeler Yuta is fucking awesome at what he does. And Wheeler Yuta, his momentum only continues to grow. This is a great thing for Wheeler Yuta, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what we see going forward from Wheeler Yuta and the Blackpool Combat Club. The Butcher, he's taking on Wardlow next week. He just ran through some jobber. A falling powerbomb and the Butcher wins. I actually think that this is going to be a very, very good hoss fight. I actually can't wait to see that match. So Wheeler Yuta, his momentum continues to grow. And then we got the Butcher and Wardlow facing off next week. Really good stuff across the board right there. I like the Butcher. Butcher and the Blade are very, very underrated. Really. Dustin Rhodes was in the back, and he cut a promo, and he challenged CM Punk That is right. We are going to get CM Punk versus Dustin Rhodes on Dynamite next week. And Punk continues to win week in and week out. Really, really, really awesome stuff right there. Very happy that Dustin Rhodes is going to mix it in with CM Punk. Should be a great match. Should be a great wrestling match. Robin Renegade versus Ruby Soho. This is an Owen Hart Cup Tournament qualifying match. Ruby Soho back on television. Great to see her back on television. I think Ruby's going to have a very nice showing in the Owen Hart Cup Tournament. I think Ruby's going to have a very nice showing in the Owen Hart Cup Tournament. So Soho was in control early on. We had an instance where she hit a headstand on the buckle, but Robin Renegade hit her with a super kick while Ruby was upside down. Robin Renegade's actually very good too, so props to Robin Renegade. Soho then came back with a Saito suplex. She then mounted a comeback, some swift kicks, and a running boot. Renegade came back, and her and her sister actually switched places. So Charlotte Renegade and Robin Renegade switched places, pulling a little twin magic. Robin Renegade was under the ring. Charlotte got the knees up on the No Future. And then all of a sudden, I botched that line there. So twin magic, Charlotte got the knees up on a diving senton. Ruby Soho then hit the No Future kick. Charlotte spilled out of the ring. Robin came in from behind and tried to roll up Ruby, but Ruby hit her with a modified Sister Abigail-esque flatliner. Really, really, really good stuff right there. Awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. Ruby Soho advances, rightfully so. And I think Ruby's going to go to the semifinals. I don't think she's winning it. I think she's going to go to the semifinals. I think we're going to get Britt Baker and Ruby Soho in the opening round. Soho's going to win. And we're going to get Soho and Serena Deeb in the second round. That I like to see. That I want to see. So, from there, Ruby Soho advances. Great to see Ruby Soho back on TV. Next week, we got Cargill and Shafir and Garcia versus Kingston. I'm assuming they'll probably announce another Owen Hart Cup Tournament qualifying match. I would actually like to see Adam Cole in there. I think Cole should definitely be in that tournament. Cole should absolutely be in that tournament. Speaking of Adam Cole, he took on Hangman Adam Page. This was a Texas death match for the AEW World Championship. This was an excellent main event to cap off what was a great episode of Rampage. Awesome stuff right here by both men. And I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to say it was better than their first match. I'm going to say it was better than their first match at Revolution. This match was awesome. Excellent match. Went about 22 minutes. Both of these men completely beat the shit out of each other. And Adam Page retained the championship. So, they came out in street clothes. Page then brought out the weapons and they started swinging chairs early on. Page and Cole then brawled into the crowd. They brawled high up into the crowd. Page then hit Cole with a water bottle. Cole then got busted open above his hairline. Coming back from commercial, Cole took over. He brought in a chair, and he pulled the chair onto Page. He pulled out the chairs, and he ran Page right into the chairs. Page ran right into the chairs. He then set up the chairs back to back. So this brought me back to what happened 4 years ago at NXT TakeOver Philadelphia, where we had Aleister Black versus Adam Cole in an Extreme Rules match. So he set up the chairs back to back. Adam Page does the same thing that Aleister Black did, and he delivers a Death Valley driver onto the chairs. The chairs didn't even budge. I would not want to be Adam Cole. He looked to be in fucking pain. So Page then brought out a table and some more chairs. Cole then was caught with the Deadeye. The ref counted, but both men got back up. Page hit the big Orihara moonsault, but Cole hit Page with a super kick. Mid-air, Paige went down. Paige went down. All of a sudden, back in the ring, Cole hit the Panama Sunrise, but Paige got up again. Both guys were on the top. Adam Page with an avalanche, fall away slam, and Cole landed right on the bed of steel chairs. Both men were busted open, but Page, he was busted open on his chin. The blood was dripping down his neck. That was a great looking sight right there. So they traded blows back and forth. Super kick, enziguri, rolling elbows, awesome stuff. Page hit a buckshot lariat. Then he tied Adam Cole's arm to the rope with his belt. Page then brought out a barbed wire steel chair, and he didn't hit Adam Cole. He was feeling some remorse. He didn't hit Adam Cole. All of a sudden, we see Cole hit a low blow, and then Cole hit a big, he hit super kick after super kick. He then caught a big lariat. Page then wrapped the barbed wire around his arm. He punched Adam Cole with the barbed wire around his arm. He took the barbed wire and made a crown of thorns, a crown of barbed wire, similar to what happened with Jesus Christ on Good Friday. Imagine that. Great spot right there. A barbed wire crown, and then he hit a beautiful deadeye off the apron, through the table, onto the barbed wire crown. He made it to his feet, and Page retains the AEW World Heavyweight Championship in an excellent main event. The first ever time the AEW World title was defended on Rampage, and it was in a great match with Adam Page and Adam Cole. Really, really, really good stuff. And Adam Page, I'm going to tell you this right now. Adam Page might be the best AEW World Champion that we've had. His matches have been second to none. There hasn't been one bad match that Adam Page has had. Every single match that he's had has been a fucking banger. Adam Page is doing great as the world champion. And you know what? I can't wait to see this inevitable match with Punk at Double or Nothing. That's going to be great. It's really going to be good. SmackDown. That was not good. SmackDown was not good at all. Why was it not good? We're going to talk about that. RK Bro. This was actually one of the very few good things on the show. RK Bro. RK Bro. RK Bro, we saw RK Bro kick off the show. RK Bro kicked off the show, and we saw that they were over as fuck. They were indeed over as fuck. So the Usos, they were the topic of discussion. Cable talked about the Usos super kicking Randy Orton. The Usos then came out. The Usos, always a great promo. Orton, then this is where things got very interesting right here. Usos are always a great promo. Orton said, listen, I love your family, but you two are assholes. He goes, the big dog let the bitches off the leash. I have been setting records for 20 years. And let me remind you who we are. Let me introduce you to my partner. We are the three most destructive letters in sports entertainment. RK Bro. Very intense is Randy Orton. The crowd is eating it up. And they accepted the challenge. And then the Usos attacked Riddle and they ran off. The Usos are always a great promo, but I gotta be honest, this is probably the best babyface Randy Orton that we've ever seen. Randy Orton as a babyface with Matt Riddle is the best babyface run that we've had. A really, really, really great promo here between these two. I very much loved what these two did. Awesome stuff right here between these two. Randy Orton and the intensity that exudes from him, it's a great thing to see. Randy Orton's intensity combined with the Usos and their intensity and the fact that Matt Riddle and Randy Orton, they're just so over in what they do. That shit right there, that makes all of this rolled up into one. It makes this a great segment. A really, really, really great segment. Really good stuff right here. So, Randy Orton, great stuff as always from Orton. And we get the match. The match is booked for WrestleMania Backlash. I thought this was a great promo, but there's a problem that I have. Just like there's a positive, there's a negative, because nothing in WWE is ever completely positive. There's always a fucking negative that comes with it. Always. The negative to this is the fact that they're doing this match 3 months too early. I would love to know, what exactly do you have planned for SummerSlam? What are you going to do for SummerSlam? How exactly is this a worthy match for WrestleMania Backlash, but apparently you're going to outdo SummerSlam? What are they going to do for SummerSlam? There's no other bigger match that you could do but RK Bro versus the Usos at SummerSlam. The only match that would even be on the same wavelength as the Usos versus RK Bro is the Usos versus Imperium. But you elected to call up 2/3 of Imperium, and then you elected to leave Fabian Eichner in NXT. I don't know what the fuck he's going to do, but Ludwig Kaiser, Marcel Bartel, is nothing more than a manager for Walter. So you pretty much eliminated one tag team that could have been probably the tag team to give the Usos a run for their money. What are you going to do at SummerSlam? What are you doing at SummerSlam? WWE, they're always about rushing. They never take their time. There's no such thing as a long-term vision. They rush everything. Two matches. RK Bro and the Usos and Austin Theory versus Finn Balor. 2 matches that should be safe for SummerSlam. They're happening within the next few weeks. Fucking stupid. Otherwise, it was a great promo by both teams. But the fact that it's happening this early, it's fucking stupid. I'll tell you what wasn't stupid. What wasn't stupid was the match that we got between Naomi versus Rhea Ripley. The outcome was fucking ridiculous. And it just goes to show you that WWE treats their champions like shit. But the match was very good. These two actually matched up very, very, very well together. So Ripley came in with a big lariat on Naomi. Coming back from commercial, Naomi with a scissor kick, a nice crossbody for a 2. Ripley was caught with a head scissor DDT for a 2. Ripley then with a beautiful Northern Lights suplex, that got a 2. Naomi caught with a diving missile drop kick. She kicked out again. Naomi then hit a springboard enziguri and a full Nelson bomb, that got a 2. Ripley ended up hitting the Riptide, and Ripley got the win. And WWE makes their champions look like shit as per usual. Why? Because they're not named Roman Reigns. No one feels special. The championships mean nothing. I am still wondering when they're going to fucking get rid of the women's tag team titles, because the women's tag team titles suck. Now, as far as the match itself goes, it was very good. And I don't give a shit who you may like. You may be a Becky Lynch tit licker. You may be a Bianca Belair dick rider. You may be a Charlotte Flair stan with little to no brain cells whatsoever. I'm going to say this flat out, outright. Naomi has been the MVP of the women's division all year. Naomi has been the best, most consistent performer in the WWE Women's Division since the start of 2022. Naomi has been giving us excellent matches on a weekly basis. Sonya Deville, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley. Naomi is at the top of her game this year. And that right there, that is something that needs to be appreciated by more individuals. And you know what sucks? The fact that Naomi, she had everyone in the palm of her hand. She had everyone wanting her to succeed, and she was shafted. She was shafted. She had everyone wanting her to succeed, and WWE shafted her for Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. They shafted her and Sasha, which should have been the match at WrestleMania, with Naomi winning the championship. Stupid. Stupid, stupid, fucking stupid. But no, let's give Naomi and Sasha the most worthless titles in the entire WWE. As if people are going to care about the women's tag team titles. No one gives a shit about them. Naomi has been the MVP of the women's division all year. Naomi has been the MVP. And she deserves a hell of a lot more than she's been given this year. She should be the SmackDown Women's Champion right now. You know who else deserves better and deserves a lot more? Drew Gulak. He is now a broadcast journalist. So he's no longer a competitor. Now he's a broadcast journalist. I guess he's trying any way possible to save himself from Nick Khan's budget cut list. Although I don't really see that happening. He interviewed Madcap Moss before his match. Madcap Moss took on Humberto Carrillo. Madcap Ross. Sound like fucking Scooby-Doo. Madcap Ross. Raggy. Pterodactyl, Arachnite Ghost, Ruby Snacks, running, chasing, danger. Madcap Ross. Madcap Moss. Madcap Moss. My apologies. Madcap Moss. He took on Humberto Carrillo. And he won with the punchline. Let me tell you something. Madcap Moss could actually be pretty decent. Madcap Moss could actually be pretty decent. He just needs to fucking drop the gimmick. He really needs to drop the gimmick. Madcap Moss would be great if he would get rid of the fucking dress shoes, if he would get rid of the fucking suspenders and these Aki shorts. Give me wrestling gear. Give me wrestling gear and start wrestling. Give me a better, more serious gimmick. Get rid of this Madcap Moss gimmick. Get rid of it. Madcap Ross would actually be a better fucking gimmick for him. Drew Gulak. This fucking pissed me off. This fucking pissed me off. Drew Gulak interviewed Charlotte Flair. He was very vibrant. He wants a job as an interviewer. He wants a job as a broadcast journalist. So Charlotte Flair came out. Drew questioned if Charlotte tapped out. Charlotte said that she was fixing her bra. Yeah, sure. Sure she was. Sure she was. And no one wants to buy into this bullshit. Charlotte Flair tapped out. They did it on purpose, specifically because they are desperately trying to generate interest in this feud and this storyline that nobody gives a shit about. So she asked Drew if he quit being a competitor to ask her stupid questions. She went on about how everyone in the crowd quits everything, and she said that winning is in her DNA. Now, you know what's in your DNA, Charlotte? Being a cunt. That's what's in your DNA. Because you are one. So she told Drew to get out of her ring. Drew went to walk away, no problem. She attacked him and put him in the figure eight. He tapped out, and then she made Drew scream, "I quit." I don't know who the fuck Drew pissed off. But this was an absolute fucking embarrassment. Charlotte Flair, anything for Charlotte Flair to look good. Charlotte Flair didn't even bother standing up for Drew. Charlotte Flair has the most backstage pull out of anyone in that women's division besides Becky Lynch. And you're telling me that Charlotte Flair couldn't have some fucking sympathy for Drew Gulak? Couldn't have said, no, I'm not doing this because I don't want to embarrass Drew Gulak? Now you know why I fucking hate the bitch. Because she deserves it. Charlotte Flair, I don't give a shit who the fuck you are. I don't give a shit if you're a friend. I don't give a shit if you're a family. I don't give a shit who the fuck you are. Charlotte Flair And the hatred I have for her is 1,000% justified because she is everything that I say she is. She is a manipulative, egotistical, self-centered cunt that cares for no one but herself. She advocates for no one, and she only cares about making her and her title reign look good. Charlotte Flair is a bitch. And if you're a fan of her, you're just as bad. Go fuck yourself. Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. Sami Zayn ran away again. And get this, we got a lumberjack match next week. Lumberjack match with Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn next week. Wow. Wow. Ricochet versus Jinder Mahal. This was for the Intercontinental Championship. This went 3 minutes. And this went very, very quick. Jinder Mahal is exactly where he should be. He is nothing more than an enhancement talent. Good. That's all Jinder Mahal is worth. Jinder Mahal is an enhancement talent. So we have Jinder Mahal going right on the attack. Going right on the attack. And Ricochet was actually trying to bump around and make him look good. Jinder actually looked good for about 60 seconds in this match. That I will say. So Ricochet bumping all around, trying to make him look good. Then all of a sudden, we see Ricochet with a nice roll-through drop kick, a big crossbody, and a standing moonsault that got a 2. He hit a very sloppy-looking recoil, but then again, that's what happens. That's what happens when we have Jinder Mahal in the ring, because Jinder Mahal can't wrestle for shit. All of a sudden, after a very sloppy-looking recoil, he goes for the 630, does Ricochet. Shanky pulls Jinder out of the ring. Ricochet then soars through the air, big crossbody onto both men, and he then delivered a shooting star press, beautifully executed shooting star press on Ricochet. Did I just say on Ricochet? I meant on Jinder. Ricochet hit a beautiful shooting star press on Jinder, and Ricochet retains the Intercontinental Championship. Ricochet retains the Intercontinental Championship, and that was it. Very, very quick, very, very meaningless, very, very painless. And Ricochet, hey, he looks good. He squashed Jinder Mahal. Good on Ricochet. Pete Dunne, he jumped in on the New Day, and we got a big brawl in the back. I refuse to call him by his slave name. Lacey Evans, we had another promo by Lacey Evans in the background talking about her struggles and how she's comfortable at rock bottom. I don't expect anything from Lacey. I really don't. If Lacey Evans spent all that time on the main roster and she's still as bad as she was when she first got there, I don't expect anything different from her. I really don't. Really. I don't expect anything different from Lacey Evans. Raquel Rodriguez is now a smiling goofball. Yeah, real good storytelling. Now Raquel Rodriguez is going to go into a feud with Shayna Baszler and Natalya. Yeah, real good storytelling there, Bruce. Next week, besides Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn in a lumberjack match, we also have Madcap Moss versus Angel Garza. And then Matt Riddle, he defeated Jimmy Uso in a decent little main event. The ending of this match was great, but the show sucked. Once again, a champion loses. I don't understand why we need this match after we already got the match booked at WrestleMania Backlash. But the ending of this match was great. Jimmy Uso went for a pop-up Samoan drop, and on the way down, Riddle caught him with an RKO. That was a great-looking spot. That much I will say. So that was pretty much that. That was SmackDown. WWE television sucks, and anyone that supports it sucks just as much. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this edition of the Lightning Flash Update. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into this video. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out all of those links in the description. I will be tweeting live for Battle of the Belts tonight. And, of course, I will be live next week with the LFU. And then, of course, on May 8th, it's going to be the rundown for WWE WrestleMania Backlash 2022. We're going to go over everything, and we're going to talk about it in depth. I'll be getting a guest on sooner rather than later. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you, Danielle, Dee, Peanuts, Adam, Karl, everyone. You guys are great. I hope you guys have a happy Easter, and I hope you guys enjoy the nice warm weather wherever you may be. If there is some warm weather, I hope there is. But till next time, I'm DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash Update. I will catch you guys next week for yet another exhilarating episode of the LFU. And remember, who runs the IWC? Who but DJ motherfucking Storms. I'll catch y'all later.